Hey everybody, it's your pal Jack. Welcome to Storytime, and welcome. It's December. It's December already. Wow, it was just summertime, and now it's almost winter. Before I gotta clip my nails, they're a little long. Before we get to the story. Every week that I'm wearing a t-shirt, I like to point out what's on my shirt. Well, alright, so last week was a special, like a Thanksgiving special. So, I was dressed up nice for Thanksgiving. But 2 weeks ago, I was wearing a t-shirt, and you know what? Eva, hello Eva. Eva said she watched the video and I didn't say anything about my shirt. That was a mistake. Eva, thank you so much for watching closely. I appreciate that. I felt bad about that. So, anyway, here's the shirt I was wearing 2 weeks ago. It's from the Hammer Museum. And you can see the big hammer, and in the back there's a building, and that's the museum, and it's in Alaska, Haines, Alaska, which is a small town. And I went there. Wow, 10 years ago, and I got this shirt, and I love this shirt. So that's that, and so now I'm wearing a shirt today, and now let's look at this shirt. It's a doggy. It's a good doggy. And what does it say at the bottom? Laura Stevenson. And she's a singer. She's a really good singer. She writes songs. She plays songs. She plays a guitar. And she has a doggy. And that's the doggy. What's the doggy's name? I don't remember. I don't remember what the dog's name is. So maybe you should come up with a name. You come up with a name. It won't be the dog's real name because the dog really has a name. But for the drawing of the dog, you come up with a name. And you tell your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or uncle or aunt or whoever's, sets up the YouTube for you. And send it in, okay? And we'll give this dog a name. Now, what's the story this week? I got it at the library. I don't know much about it, but it's called Samson, the Piranha Who Went to Dinner by, and I've never seen this name before, Tadgh. Tadgh? Tadgh? Maybe it's Tadgh. Bentley. Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know how you say it. I should have looked that up before. I'm sorry. But it looked like a fun book. So let's take a look. Now we always look at... Oh, what do we see? Plates and forks and knives and napkins. Any spoons? I don't know. Hey, do you know what a piranha is? They're fish with teeth. Samson was a very adventurous fellow, wearing a hat. What's in his bag? Oh, all sorts of cooking things. Maybe you have some of those things in your kitchen. And what else is he wearing? I really have to cut my nails. It's a bow tie. Now, while the other piranhas stayed close to home, look, they're relaxing, watching TV, lying on the couch. But Samson wanted to explore far and wide. And while they stuck to the same old routine, Samson liked to get out and try new things. So here he's on a little, like a unicycle for fish. He's got a little S on his hat.
Excuse me, would you like to play a game of tennis?
Samson said.
No. How about a trip upstream?
No! Everybody said no. But most of all, Samson dreamed of eating fine food at the fanciest restaurants. Look at that. Look at that. But while he drooled at the thought of luscious lily linguine and crispy kelp cakes, the other piranhas ate the same boring food day after day. Look at it, chewing on the fish. You can see the fish bones. How about you? Do you like to try new foods, or do you like to eat the same stuff? Sometimes I like to eat the same stuff, but I think it's good to try some new things, right? So every day, Samson ate alone. Look, they're all over here, and Samson is all the way over here. Until one morning he saw something that might change their minds. Look, he's reading the Fishy Times, and what does it say? It says, fancy restaurants open today. Fancy restaurant? He loves fancy restaurants. And that's what he says. He says,
fancy restaurants opening today? Perhaps you gents might care to join me for a,
No way. Not for me. Silly Samson. A restaurant is no place for a piranha. Poor Samson. He got a little sad. He said, perhaps they were right with their fearsome features, because they have sharp, like I have sharp nails, they got sharp teeth, and terrible teeth. Piranhas weren't really welcome anywhere, let alone in a fancy restaurant. But he had to try. So Samson set off alone, and soon he arrived at the first restaurant. Okay, so there he's, la la la, going to the restaurant. smiled his friendliest smile and approached the waiter.
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if I may...
Salty mother of mackerel!
What is it? Who's the waiter? The waiter's a... Who said it? Somebody said it. He's a turtle?
Salty mother of mackerel, he says.
Piranha! Everybody runs out of the restaurant. What's the restaurant called?
The Café Pierre.
And poor Samson is all by himself. Everyone runs because they're afraid of piranhas, because they have the... You know, piranhas have teeth, you know. They're afraid they're going to get eaten by the piranha. Okay. Piranha! His friends were right. He couldn't get into a restaurant looking like a piranha. But maybe he could get in looking like something else. He would need a disguise. So he puts on a disguise, and Samson checked his mustache. He put on a mustache and fluffed his eyebrows. Those are fake eyebrows. He could almost taste the luscious lily linguine and the sizzling seaweed sausage. It actually sounds kind of gross. But to a piranha, that would be delicious. Would you eat that? Would you eat seaweed sausage?
Yes, pardon me, but I believe you have a reservation for Samson Piranha?
They're at Linguini's restaurant. Let me see. Of course, Mr. Rana. Right this way, please. So he tricked that waiter. What kind of waiter is that? Do you know what kind of creature that is? Samson peered eagerly into the restaurant, and when he saw the plates piled high with crispy kelp cakes and duckweed sauce, he couldn't help but smile a large, very piranha-like smile. Uh-oh.
And Scaly's Neptune's crab cakes,
says the waiter.
Piranha! Oh no!
Again, look at that. Everybody runs out of the... Oh, that looks like a nice restaurant. Have you ever gone to Leo's in Hoboken? It used to look like that with the red and white tablecloths. Oh no, everybody ran out of Linguini's restaurant. Scared. Look. Look at the mustache. Oh. Samson's smile disappeared as fast as the fish in the restaurant. He couldn't get into a real restaurant. He didn't even fit in at home. Samson felt more alone than ever. Look at that. He took off his disguise. You ever feel lonely like that? Yeah, I think we all feel lonely sometimes. Like nobody understands us, and our friends aren't treating us nice. And, yeah. There was only one more restaurant, one more chance for a fancy meal. This time, he would make sure his costume was perfect. He's really getting the costume ready.
This is it,
thought Samson. Look at that. Look at that costume. What a beard. He had ribbons in his hair. He nervously swam up to the final restaurant.
Yes, excuse me, my name is Mr. Rana, and I have a reservation for this evening.
Ah, Monsieur Rana, of course. Right this way, please.
Look at this restaurant. That's a cool looking place. People are dressed up kind of fancy there. It's a fancy restaurant. For fish. But for piranhas, well, we'll find out. What do you think? Think he's welcome there? Huh? He's getting served food.
Would you like to sample some creamy crab souffle, eh? Or perhaps some crispy kelp cakes?
Samson's mouth watered. Had he finally made it?
Please, sir, allow me to take your hat.
Samson couldn't believe it. His dream was about to come true. But just then, look at that, his hair came off with the hat. And his beard is falling off. And the waiter is very surprised and says,
For the love of smoky sea bass.
Let's all say that.
For the love of smoky sea bass. Oh, sacre bleu.
And you know what comes next. Let's all say it together. Piranha! Piranha! Ah! Look at everyone swimming out of there. Look at the waiter's face. Oh, run, 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 run. It's rough being a piranha. But this time, as fish scattered this way and that way, taking their delicious kelp cakes and soufflés with them, Samson realized something. He wasn't the only fearsome fish who wanted to dine out on fancy food. Look, there's not piranhas, but there's other fish with the big teeth, big scary teeth. And with these new friends, it came a new idea. They would open their own fancy restaurant, one where the food was so good that this time... Oh, look at that. They were all wearing... Look at that. Did you see that? They all tried the same thing. They were all wearing disguises. Top hats, glasses, fake mustaches. Then they took all that stuff off to enjoy the food. But at their own restaurant, the food would be so good. That this time, it wasn't Samson who was wearing a disguise. Look at that. One of the other piranhas is just... look, wait. Who's that? No, it's not a piranha. It's someone in disguise as a piranha. Do you know what kind of hair that's called? A mohawk, when someone has one strip of hair and sunglasses. Trying to sneak into the... And that's the end. And there we see all the plates and forks and knives. No spoons. There's no spoons in this story. I don't know. Maybe in the next book. And then I'm going to say his name is Tadgh. What do you think? Tadgh Bentley is a picture book author and illustrator, originally from, he's over there in the United Kingdom. And he now lives in the Hocking Hills of Ohio with his wife Emily and puppy Atticus. And he drew the pictures and he wrote the book. That's extra special. And other books, another book is called Little Penguin Gets the Hiccups. So maybe we'll read that another time. Alright. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that last week you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And should we meet again here next week? Alright, it's a deal. And remember, think of a name for this dog. Okay. Bye, everybody.